First of all, thank you, Ron, and all the co-presenters and our great audience. So first of all, let me tell you, great presentations all, and I'm a big fan of UiPath. I'm a big fan of Rancher and many other security solutions they presented there as well. I mean, when I working with the multiple customers, I came across talking about Rancher, talking about UiPath, very familiar, and definitely security solutions as well. Great presentations, and as a speaker, I learn a lot from other presenters, about their products. So thank you so much for that. All right. So we are going to talk about modernization and innovation and transformation in financials and banking industry. But because of the time limit, this is we usually present this one to our financial customers. It's take around an hour plus, and I need to distill this one to. I'm requesting Ron, please give me 25 minutes, at least 30 minutes to finish this, right? To give the justifications. So let me talk about myself. My name is Shibu Nair. I'm a principal solution architect in AWS. As a solution architect, I work with my customers, providing them advising on architectural, how we can help the customers to create business solutions, and how AWS can partner with them to achieve their business goals, increasing their productivity and agility and all that great stuff, which cloud is going to bring on the table. Plus, we always believe in partnership. So what that means is AWS always find out, trying to help our customers where we can collaborate with our partners, with our other service providers. So that's the area where we actually grow together. So I'm more than happy to talk to any of you guys. Opportunities, your solutions may be good fit, and a good partnership with AWS as well. So that's something which I really want to talk first. Just do logistics. All right. So first of all, the financial services industry is evolving in the cloud right now than ever before, because the reason for that one is the pestle conditions. That means the political, economical, social, technological, environmental, and legal landscape is changing. And it demands changes in several spectrums, right? More demand from our customers in this case, because the new forms of risk are rising, the data-driven go-to-market strategies coming up, or it is need to be there, and meeting and exceeding customer expectation has to be there to keep up the competition, right? And the best cost optimization technique, we need to use it to give more with less spending, right? So that's kind of a challenge. It's not only financial industry, in all industry, but financial industry, which is going to be more critical because of, it is going to be affecting or directly impacting because of the political, economical, and social, those kind of reasons. So those are the things which we really watching it and providing solutions. So those kind of macro trends across the industry, which the pandemic accelerated. I mean, even though pandemic was not there, it is there, but right now you can see that a huge drift is happening, right? So I call it as a concept drift in the machine learning part of it. But you can see that drift in many areas. It's disrupting business models and driving technology modernization, which is inevitable, right? And banks are closing branches and going digital, touchless, which we have seen in many places. Capital markets are seeing continued rise in trending volumes and volatility, which we can see it, especially a lot of retail investors are coming and going to be affecting the market, which I don't need to say this one. For the last couple of months, we are seeing it. Digital channels are becoming the norm in insurances, and people are looking at decentralized approach in that areas. And payments are becoming instant and contactless. I'm just naming few, right? And all these trends pointing to need for technology that can provide the level of resiliency and low latency and real-time data processing capabilities. And with that, the easy API connectivity with the data. So data as a product, how you can create product out from the data which you have. And these are the things which is actually coming up with any kind of industry, and specifically financial industry, which is going to be very important, right? And people start creating products based out of their data. So the pandemic ended. Any lingering debate over any financial institution should move to the cloud, right? And we can see that a lot of financial industries are start thinking, and many of them are already in cloud. And we can see that JP Morgan Chase was talking about they will be investing a lot more money in cloud infrastructure, cloud architecture, and cloud migrations. A couple of months back, I have seen in some articles, and the main thing is, all these financial industries are actually modernizing their legacy systems in order to meet growing customer expectations for digital channels and personalizing the product and experience for their customers and providing the best they can give to their customers. And another thing is responding to market volatility and meet evolving regulatory requirements and reduce time to market for new products and services based on the customer behavioral change. Then the artificial intelligence, AI, and ML, which is kind of a new norm for everywhere we can hear it, and top of mind for financial services customers across the industry who are collecting enormous amount of data, and that they are trying to find out what's the value they can get out from this data, right? Providing more prescriptive guidance to our customers for investment point of view and banking point of view. I mean, robo advising, it's going to be a good example of it, right? And customers actually want to personalize and seamless interactions with financial institutions with on-demand customer services via their preferred channels and targeted products and offers, right? And consistent omni-channel experience. So these are actually the trend which we can see it, and that is actually accelerating. And that's the underlying point, which is accelerating. Then people are really want to make that happen in a faster manner, right? So this slide, I'm actually showing the logos of our customers that were generous enough to let us use their name. And it's a very small percentage of the financial customers which AWS helped them to transform their business by doing in cloud, right? How we can increase agility, how they can create the product in a faster time to market, and how they can scale it. And the most important thing is how fast they can adapt the changes which is happening in the market, and they can rearrange the product or reform the product. That's the core important point. That agility and adaptability, that's going to be the most important thing in the new era, which we have seen. And otherwise, if we are going to be slow in that, it will be out from the market. So that's the benefit cloud is, and AWS especially bringing into the market. So if you need proof that AWS is central to the IT strategy on the financial service industry, look no further than 2021 reinvent, which we have seen many financial institutions are coming and co-presenting with in the main stage, in the reinvent stage. And few examples here, NASDAQ, Goldman Sachs, Standard and Chartered. I'm not reading all of those, but this is only few examples which I actually handpicked based on the industry and based on the audience here. Sorry, I'm a little bit on the short breath because of the I just got out from the COVID, just hanging up there. So we believe that partnership, right? That's the main reason AWS aims to provide the widest range of technology consulting solutions with the help of APN partners, and that APN's partners including Bloomberg, FICO, Morgan, and many up there. So I'm not reading all of those. And at the same time, with system integrators, Accenture, Second Watch, Cloud Reach, etc. So how we are going to accomplish this one is when we do have any kind of alignment with our customers, we are helping the customer to partnership with our SIs and APN, AWS partners in APN framework. So we will be help them to collaborate, and we work together to help the customer. So that partnership is the core success of our deliverables and the success of the customer as well. And that's it. So let's move to the security and compliance that become moving from an obligation to an advantage point of view nowadays. How? Right. So during the shift into the cloud technologies, we can see that how it is addressed constantly evolving regulatory requirements, especially data localization needs, right? GDPR and such, managing threats and cyber attacks, which we have seen in our previous presenters talk about many security software solutions, which is really, really important nowadays because we are living in that cyber threat attack era, right? And reporting and compliance is really important because the regulation is changing, and government really needs to keep a control over things. So that compliance requirement and the niche cloud specialist, and that's going to be scarcity of those people, right? So where we can help them. So what we do in that case is we come up with a shared responsibility model. And that shared responsibility model, whoever is actually familiar with the cloud, they probably know about this one. But when it comes to the financial services specifically, we do provide that a little bit more on a comprehensive point of view with many services, which is going to be literally managed services. So where we abstract the complexities of managing infrastructure out from our customers, and we handle that. I don't want to explain that too detail, but there are the black side, the bottom side is actually responsibility of the security of the cloud, which AWS take care of that, and the customer need to take care of the responsibility in the cloud, the security in the cloud. So what that means is when you design a solution, we provide the tools, and not only tools, we provide other system integrators, APN partners to help our customers to build their solution in the most secure manner, the way they want it, right? And we encourage them to test it, and we provide that help in that side as well. I'm helping my customer right now to roll out their solution, to test it before we are putting that to cut over to the production. And very, very important to make sure that has to be happen. That is the reason that share responsibility model is going to be the key part of CloudGen. And also we provide certification attestations in all kind of varieties. So that means, you can go through this big list, and those list is actually really comprehensive in the case of geographically, right? And the federal government point of view as well. So that certification attestations are actually assessed by third party and independent auditor, and the result in certification, audit report, attestation, and compliance. And then laws and regulations and privacy point of view, AWS customers remain responsible for complying with applicable compliance laws and regulations. In some cases, AWS offers functionality which enablers and legal agreements such as AWS data processing agreement and business associate addendum to support this customer compliance. And alignment on framework point of view, compliance alignments and framework include published security or compliance requirement for a specific purpose, such as specific industry or functions. Good examples I can tell: high trust, HIPAA, and many of them, right? FIPS, though I'm just naming few on that side. So it comes to how you can access these artifacts. So when financial industry migrate to the cloud, so they really need to know uh, how AWS infrastructure, how AWS data centers in the regions and availability zones comply with all these different sort of compliance requirements. So we provide that artifacts. And that's the one, the previous slide I said, the third party assess our data center and our infrastructure and provide that compliance certifications. And you can access that certifications and you can provide that certifications to your auditors. And that's the way we can help them. And you really need to worry about only the application you created, right? You don't need to be worry about the infrastructure stack at all. So you need to worry about only the application part and how that is going to be compliant. And that's the only part you need to be providing your legal teams. I mean, the auditors. Then AWS continues to meet these regulatory agencies across the United States and throughout the world to discuss how we approach security and compliance on a global basis and to present the various tools and services that enable financial service customers and their supervisors to achieve continuous monitoring for regulatory compliance. And we will continue to meet regulatory with these agencies as a legal and regulatory environment regarding the use of cloud services by financial entities evolves. So now let's look at the trends, what we have seen in the industry move to the cloud. And this is more about the technology side of it, right? So these are some of the key trends and use cases we are seeing globally. New digital channels. So in banking, beyond hosting website, creating n-banking, mobile banking, also creating an alternative to the broker agent model in insurance to appeal to your younger consumers. And same thing on the grid computing side, what would you do if you have an unlimited computing power, right? Banks and insurers and hedge funds are fighting, right? They are running financial simulations models to manage risk or creating risk model, right? Explore trading opportunities by backtesting tons of data and proving their hypothesis or proving their strategies, whether that's going to be work or not, right? If it is going to be, if you create an ML model, and if that model is going to be creating 52%, that's going to be creating millions, right? If that strategy is going to be working in the asset investment or something in that direction, and then performing actuarial calculations, etc. And these are the areas where grid computing is going to be play a huge role, which AWS offers. And the data lakes is another area, making it so much easier to perform analytics workload and saving on storage in the process, right? We are seeing FINRA use a data lake to save money and improve its market somewhere else. We are seeing GSIPs streamlining regulatory reporting. We are seeing insurers performing customer sentiment analysis on that by using our ML models. And other one is core systems. So we are seeing the number of customers migrating their core systems to the cloud in an effort to gain agility and break free from costly, slow legacy architecture. Customers like OpenBank running Autonomous, Oak North running Mambu, and just a few examples. And the machine learning. Machine learning, my favorite, because I'm a data scientist as well on that side of the spectrum. So AWS continues to make it easier for organizations to implement machine learning. And we are seeing this across the industry, back office to the front office. New use cases every day, fraud detection, sales recommendations, contract analysis, and all kind of use cases which is coming in. And people start utilizing AI to create that prescriptive guidance to the business teams, to creating new products out from the data which they have it and analyzing customer behavior. And last but not least, blockchain distributed ledger, the big bet right now, right? Web 3.0. And Web 3.0 is going to be in conjunction with Metaverse, which is going to be in right now, right? So we are actually starting to see momentum in building this space. Leaders are actually, leading providers are actually running applications on AWS, which we are starting to see projects related to clearing and settlement, trade finance, correspondent banking, uh, mortgage and loan applications are really notable examples. A lot of these projects are actually still in development, but we are already seeing some of the significant financial service blockchain workload be moved into the production. One of the recent read which I had is very interesting. Atomic settlement is an instant exchange of two assets that are linked such that the transfer of one occurs only upon transfer of the other one, right? And that is actually a T+2 model down to T+0. What that means is, if transaction is going to take, the transaction settlement is actually taking 2 to 3 days, how the distributed ledger can reduce that into same day or probably within an hour settlement. That means that money is available immediately for the next trading or the next trade you can do it. That's going to be a huge impact in the in the industry. That's going to create, right? How fast you can roll that money. So this is a really good example, atomic settlement, and that's going to be enabled by DLT, distributed ledger transactions. So a few other things are the influence of customer-centric service providers. Superior digital experience has become the table stakes. And these higher bar expectations now extended to financial industries as well. You can do the banking through Alexa, right? Customers are expecting that personalized services and fast query resolutions and on-demand accessibility across channels. It's kind of a new norm right now. Everybody really wants to do this kind of do that kind of one step ahead technology. So today, financial industries, services companies are all sizes are driving the next evolution of grid computing by working with AWS to expand their capabilities within the cloud. Flexible grid computing capabilities allow portfolio managers to conduct simulations that identify risk within their portfolio of products, hedging opportunities, and areas for optimization, and model the impact of hypothetical portfolio changes. So those are it's kind of a common across financial industry right now. So firms require increased computing power to address ever-changing industry conditions. That means straight capital obligations, more rigorous and frequent stress testing requirements, market fluctuations, accelerated product developments, life cycles are, would like to name a few up there. And also building grids with AWS, financial services organizations can able to navigate through these conditions and take advantages of cloud-enabled benefits, such as elastic capabilities to scale to peak processing demands at the moment's notice, right? Quite immediate. You don't need to wait. And automation features to minimize manual process. UiPath was talking about the benefit of automations, which is really inevitable in the modern business world. And the lower the cost, and that's really important because we have the pay-as-you-go consumption model, and not only that, we have many other options we provide our customers to reduce the cost, which are architects and our technical account managers. They're all working very closely with our customers to help them to reduce the cost. So the financial services industry, I would like to touch on the data lakes in 2 more slides. The financial service industry has relied on traditional data infrastructure for decades. We know that data warehouses, big databases, and such, but traditional data solutions cannot keep up with the volume and variety of the data which we are receiving nowadays, because we are collecting the sentimental data from social media. And that's all the streaming data. And how we can augment our existing data with this external data, and how we can creating new products out from that, which is actually really targeted to the customer segment, different customer segments, and how you need to market on that basis, right? The cloud-based data lake help financial institutions store all their data in one single repository, making it easy to support compliance priorities, realize cost efficiencies, perform forecasting, right? Execute risk assessment. All these great things possible by underlying the AI, the data lakes. And financial services customers are actually building that lakes on AWS for improved compliance and regulatory reporting, customer experiences, business analytics, market surveillance, and trading. And just naming few, right? And Amazon FinSpace, which we recently launched, is a data management and analytics service. It's actually purpose-built for financial services industry. FinSpace reduces the time you need to spend finding and preparing petabyte of financial data to be ready for analysis from months to minutes. That's a huge benefit. I can dive deep on that, but considering the time, I probably need to skip that to go to the next slide. The next one is AI and ML. And AI and ML, I don't need to say that, where it's going to be very important, the compliance and surveillance and fraud detection side, how we provide AI services by which you can go ahead and easily identify fraud and sales practices and such. Same thing with document processing. You have tons of document PDFs. We can definitely take that and reading the columns and rows in the table format and getting that data into it by using our text track, pricing and product recommendations by recommendation and personalization, and providing trading. In the trading side of it, we can do the sentiment analysis, image analysis, grid computing, scheduling, and etc. And those are on the trading side of it, and definitely customer experience side, analyzing the sentiments and providing constant optimizations and personalizing products. And all these are actually coming under the big umbrella of AI and ML. That's the next edge in the digital innovations. So the last slide is about blockchain. The global markets and networks are expanding, so exposing more data, and companies engaging in more alliances, complex online transactions. While this needs security and trust is greater than ever, and it's demanding too. So the risk from cyber thieves, terrorists, and state actors, right? So the blockchain make three core aspects easier and built right out of the box. An integrated data store with built-in cryptographic security and consensus mechanism to facilitate trust in an otherwise untrusted environment, a robust state machine that execute implicit code and defines how transactions are handled. So to build that DLT environment from the ground up is going to be really cumbersome. So you need to take care of all that great stuff of infrastructure, which we abstract that and we provide managed services, managed hyperledger services, and managed Ethereum blockchain as well. And we recently working on multiple other projects as well. If you can contact me directly, I can tell a couple more things about blockchain, about the time limitations. And with that, thank you so much. I know that it took 35 minutes, but a little bit lengthy. Sorry about that. Ron, back to you, and ready for any questions audience has.